Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back. We have a promo coming on Friday, so you know you're going to get a video about it. I didn't want to make a video about Future Stars because I really didn't think it was coming. I thought it was maybe, but I thought EA was going to change it up. Boom! That design, by the way, is insane. Now, pause it. I hope this pauses. What I want to show you guys before we talk about this promo real quick, there's something important about it. As you guys can see, when you look at the loading screen, there is something that says 4 on the bottom left. Now, what I believe that means, with the arrow over there, they are going to upgrade. The original boost on the headliner players is going to be a +4. I think EA is going to go all out for this promo. And I feel like this is what I was talking about with these crazy cards that start to come into the game when the spring happens. I believe it will continue to happen now, where EA is going to start bringing just some pretty nuts cards to FIFA Ultimate Team. It just kind of feels that way. It feels like that's what EA is doing, and that they're going to bring some pretty nice cards. So we're going to talk a little about the promo today, guys. Let me know in the comments down below before we get anywhere else what headliner player you guys want to see. What's the player that you guys are dying to see, the one that you guys really want to have come into FIFA Ultimate Team, because I'm very curious about that. And let's get some players down in the comments down below. So really quickly, to go through this with you guys, just to talk a little bit about the promo before we do anything. It's always important to see what's good with the promo, see what it means, see what's all that. This is the FIFA 19 headliners initial thing, and it's kind of hard to understand if you've never seen headliners, so I want to explain it to you guys. Introducing FIFA 19 headliners, a brand new event centered around players. I think they spelled centered wrong, or maybe I'm just can't spell it. Anyway, centered on players who are on an exceptional run of form during the season. Each FIFA 19 headliner player is released on a brand new item type, which dynamically updates. So these are live cards, guys. I'll explain how. At the launch of the event, each FUT 19 headliner player item is released at 1 inform upgrade higher than their latest qualifying based inform. So last year, the way they did it was these cards all had, I think it was a +1 on top of their best card before that, whatever it was. So the way that these cards work is that, let's say Rafael Varane gets a headliner's card. I want to give you guys an example. He doesn't mean he's going to. If he got a headliner's card, right away his card would come out on Friday as an 88 rated. It would be an inform boost. Now, let's say Varane in 3 weeks from now has a very good performance and gets into the team of the week. What will happen, instead of like ones to watch where the card just updates to the card, Varane will get an 88 rated inform, but his headliner will also move up 1. So his headliner will go to an 89. So it makes these cards unique because they're always going to be the best version of the card no matter what. They always have the best stats, and they're always the version that is kind of the highest of the card outside of a team of the year or team of the season. So that's why these cards are really cool, and they do update to everything. So if a player gets team of the group stage, if a player gets a record breaker, if they get any of these types of cards, I believe it's outside of team of the years and outside of team of the seasons that the headliner card would update, which is actually awesome, right? So last year, they went through and they basically said, here's a bunch of players that have been playing well so far, and this is why we put them in. Let's go through the FAQ before we talk about anything else. What qualifies to be a FIFA 19 headliner? FUT 19 headliners are a curated selection of players who are on an exceptional run of form through the season. To qualify for a selection as a FUT 19 headliner, the player must have had at least one performance-based inform this season and must not have an existing dynamic item, right? So they can't have it. So there's not going to be, I believe, I don't think there's going to be able to be a player. I think that means there's not going to be a once to watch maybe, or a road to the final, I believe. Not sure though if that discludes everybody ahead. When do they get updated? They update within 24 hours of the team of the week. It says a few hours here. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing else here that you guys need to know. Are they dynamic? Yes, they are dynamic. All right, so this is my video from last year. There's me looking clean shaven. And I just wanted to show you guys what they look like in game. This was me trading last year around February 1st. So you guys can see there that Rashford got one, Hernandez got one, Lozano. So they chose a lot of players last year that were really, like a really good selection based on the players that we had last year, which does make a lot of sense. And then you guys can see here, this is the full team. So I'll take you guys over to FIFA 19 here. And if you go to FIFA 19, you look at team of the weeks. We scroll all the way down. So these were the headliner players that came out. And what's really cool is you had players like Son that came out at a certain rating and ended up, I believe, getting this team of the group stage card and a FUT birthday. I'm not sure if they upgraded to the FUT birthday. I think they upgrade. I think it's all performance based cards. Let's see. Let me scroll up here again and see this. Performance-based informs. So they didn't update. I don't think it updated because of for birthday cards. Just to keep that in mind, it has to be like because for birthday is not a performance-based upgrade, right? It's just a EA selection upgrade. So just keep that in mind. That's why maybe they didn't update. But Pepe was a prime example of a player that had a huge shine through the headliner promo last year because he got released as an 86 or 87, I almost want to say, and he literally got three informs in the spring, which was just crazy, man. So his headliner ended up growing so much in value through a lot of the year. But you guys can see, basically, these cards are really hyped up as the promo comes out. They drop a lot. Then he got the upgrade to the headliner. He went up to 130, drops down to 90. Every time these guys get upgrades, they go up a bunch. It's really like funny how that works, right? These cards, you guys can check the graphs of these guys all year and just laugh. This is when Sun, I believe, got a double upgrade because this would have been around full birthday time. He didn't get the upgrade, and then he got the team of the group stage card, and he literally went from, I think, 500 to 1.1 mil. I actually had 2 of these headliner Suns, so I made a ton of coins on these guys because he absolutely flew. It was insane. So the cool part about these headliner cards is that if they do get quite cheap during the promo, it's a good way, like once to watch, to kind of club stock them in your club. Now these cards are going to be way more meta than any other cards in this game because they're just in demand as hell and they're really good cards. So Leroy Sané goes from like 370 here all the way to 500, and you guys can just tell that the player selection of these players last year was absolutely fantastic. We've got Timo Werner, who got multiple upgrades. We've got Royce, who got multiple upgrades. Ziyech had literally like, I think, 6 upgrades last year. Paul Pogba's headliner card was a great selection. This card got tons of upgrades as the year went on. Really grew in value for a lot of the year. Also a fantastic card to trade with. Just bought a ton. People really liked them. Kenny Lala was a good example of a headliner that got a lot of upgrades. Marquinhos got a lot of upgrades. And it's like another level of card that makes like Team of the Week investing and things like that really fun. Sarabia, Zapata, Skriniar, Dembele, Suso, Rashford, Hernandez, Lozano. Sandro was a great one. So you did have a lot of really good cards that came out last year. What's interesting, though, guys, that is like a little bit different about this promo coming so early is that they brought this way earlier than last year, and oh my God, am I going to really struggle with this right now? Yo, don't do this to me. Yo. Okay, I just got to click it. Wow, that was a struggle. What's interesting is that they brought this promo last year way later than this year. So last year it came out on February 1st. So we're going to get this on 3 days from now, whenever that is. And then we had Future Stars last year around the same date. So what I'm assuming is that EA is going to switch these 2 promos around. Reasoning for that I'm thinking is they want to get these cards on the market for a couple extra weeks. That's what I'm thinking. I think that EA definitely wants to have these cards kind of getting onto the market because they are dynamic live cards, right? They're going to update as players update. So I think EA wants to give them a couple extra weeks to be a little bit more relevant, which does kind of make sense to me. So I can understand why they just made the announcement today that Headliners is going to come out. What I will tell you guys is that, this promo is going to bring a level of panic probably to the market because I'm thinking EA is going to give us some good players. Now, last year they came out and said the player must have had at least one performance-based inform this season and must not have an existing dynamic item, team of the year, or base item rated 90 or above. So they said last year that if a card has a base item of 90 or above, you're not going to be in headliners. So I don't know if that's going to be a criteria that follows this year. That would really knock off like Neymar or any of that. And they also have to have an existing inform. Wait. The player must have had at least one performance-based inform. So they have to have one inform already in this game. So that is something to consider. That was last year's criteria. So if you look at that, that's something to consider, right? It's got to be a player so far that has had informs in this game. But EA does different things every year, and I would be really surprised if EA stuck to the same exact criteria as last year because I personally feel like they're going to go all out and bring us some pretty good players. Now, how would I prepare for this promo? What would I do? Last year I made a lot of coins on these cards because they brought out really bad price ranges. So as you guys could see from my video last year, I was doing really stupid flipping on the day one, and I was making some really, really good coins. You guys can see here that I had some Rashfords that I was trying to sell at max. And you guys can see this is what they originally came out at. So Sun was an 87, so he ended up getting a bunch of upgrades. Most of these players all got tons of upgrades compared to what they were. So that is really good to see. On the bench and stuff, you can see that a lot of these guys are really expensive day one. A lot of these cards were just way too many coins in my opinion, but that's how they came out as these cards like that. And then you guys could see that I was browsing the market, just kind of looking at them, and then there was my flipping. I had flipped Rashford. I bought him at 400. I sold him at 600. So there's that trading opportunity. I also think that there's going to be a lot of sell-off on Friday before, because people are going to be expecting to buy these cards. Here's how it's going to work. If there's a lot of sell-off before, and the player that got sold off, for example, let's say everybody's panic selling Salah on Friday. No, that wouldn't make sense. Let's say everybody's panic selling Inform. Do I have any players I can use my transfers for example? Let's say everybody's panic selling Inform Varane, thinking that he's going to get a headliner, right? He would be an example where if he doesn't get into headliners, he'd probably go up, is what I'm saying. So he'd probably rebound if he didn't get into headliners. If a player does get into headliners, I don't know if they're going to rebound, because they may just get panicked so when they get out. So a way to make coins would be a Friday morning if there's any kind of panic. To take involvement with it, you could take a little bit. You're gonna have to take a risk because you don't know that the player is not going to be in headliners. Is kind of the risk with it. I would say you guys should take the money on cards at rewards. I'm expecting the market this week to really do well at weekly rewards. So if you guys have any cards that you're looking to sell, take the money on them on Thursday would be my big recommendation to you guys. Take the money, be happy that you have the money, and look for some panic on Friday morning. Now, Nick, would this impact Team of the Years? That would be a stretch, right? Future Stars was a promo that brought down the market last year for the Team of the Years. I have already seen that the Team of the Years have risen a little bit. Specifically, a couple of them that I bought, which was Allison, a Robertson. I didn't buy Delict. Van Dijk is rising a bit, so I don't think that these cards, because if EA follows the same criteria as last year, where they got to be under a certain rating, I don't think these are going to crash the market. But it will definitely be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what EA comes up with, how hard they go with some of these cards, and how much it will impact the market for the top tier cards. Because I don't think, as you guys could see from the cards that we got last year, when these guys originally came out, these are a little bit worse than Future Stars is what I would say. A little bit worse. Not a lot worse, but they're a little bit worse than Future Stars. They're not anything on the level of like a crazy Future Stars card, just a tad worse. So Future Stars were really fun because they're like young players that had huge boosts that were comparable to a lot of endgame cards at the time. So I don't know if these cards are going to make Team of the Years go down, is kind of what I'm saying. But it could, it could have let some people sell their teams and stuff to get some variety in squads and stuff. That could be a side effect of what you could expect to come in this promo. But I don't know. I wouldn't expect anything like that crazy, is what I would say. I don't think it's going to be that nuts. So just don't panic sell, guys. Keep in mind that we've got a big weekly rewards coming up this Thursday to boost up the market, I think, a good amount. So let's enjoy that. Let's see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching my video today. I really appreciate you guys, man, supporting the channel so much recently. And again, let me know the cards that you guys are excited to see in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon. Peace out.